today's entitled, Well, There's a Will, There's a Way. It's about a rich Southern family with some members who just don't seem to have their priorities straight. The daughters, Margaret and Anna, who have married wealthy political husbands, aren't even speaking. Margaret's son and Anna's nephew, Charles, must now bring his mother and aunt together to make arrangements and fulfill the wishes of his grandfather. He's also concerned that his fiancée, Grace, is a non-believer and his family's behavior is not helping at all. It's an issue he and his grandfather had discussed many times. Our story begins in the parlor of the grandfather's mansion, with Charles and Grace discussing the recent events. We find that Grace is more concerned with Charles' seemingly lack of mourning, while Charles is more concerned with the difficult days ahead.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, just lost in thought.
Your grandfather just died, and I'm taking it worse than you are.
Oh, I know, it seems that way. I think I'm just so busy here with all the things that I have to do. I still think it's hit me yet. You know, there'll be a time for grieving later. Hang on, it's my phone. It's Granddad's lawyer. Hello? Yeah, this is Charles. Okay. So you have grandfather's will. Great. Okay. No, I'll arrange to have someone come pick it up, sure. Okay. Thank you. Bye now.
Good. I'm glad you're letting someone else help.
Well, now comes the hard part. I've got to let Mother and Aunt Anna know. I mean, just getting them here in the same room will be difficult enough.
Are you kidding me?
Well, then with Christmas just a few days away.
It's been 5 years. Do they even know what they're fighting about?
Oh yeah, something about they're worried that one of them's going to have more money than the other, something like that.
You best go ahead and call your mother. Let her know this news before someone else does it. I know how she can be.
You're right. Let me call her. Hello, Mother. Well, I'm afraid I have some bad news. Yes, Granddad passed away last night. I know. Well, he went peacefully. Yeah. Well, no, you're the first person I've called. I thought maybe you could let Aunt Anna know. Now, Mother, I know you two aren't speaking, but that was 5 years ago. That was a grandmother's funeral. Well, surely you can put your differences aside for now. Well, then have Camilla call. I've got a lot to do here. Well, right now I'm looking at a rough draft of the obituary. Okay. Well, I'll see you soon. I love you. Bye now.
It's ridiculous. You see, it's the trouble I have with these church people. Your mother, she says she has Jesus living in her heart. And Anna, she has Jesus living in her heart. Jesus is just fine with himself.
Well, Grace, you can't let the actions of those two change the way you think about Christians. I mean, Granddad always thought they'd come together at his death, if for no other reason than to hear the reading of his will. I guess as the old saying goes, where there's a will, there's a way.
Our story's about to get even more interesting with the arrival of Charles's mother, Margaret, and his younger sister, Camilla. who, like so many teenagers, was fully engaged with her cell phone. And Anna will also make her way home with her many children. As the sisters still aren't speaking, Charles attempts to fulfill his grandfather's wish to bring them back together. However, Margaret and Anna's thoughts are elsewhere.
Goodbye, darling. You have a safe trip to Washington, and be sure and give those McConnells my love. Oh, Charles!
Hello,
Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, my goodness. Hello, Grace.
Hello, Margaret.
Please take my coat and be careful. That's real firm, you know.
Oh, thank you, Ella. You're doing prettier than the last time I saw you.
You always say that, big brother, but I guess it is true. I heard about Granddad, but what's that Wi-Fi password again?
It's Charles 123.
Charles 123. How original. You're not my most favorite reading on my TikTok comments.
Oh, Charles, poor little Camilla's all torn up about her granddaddy's passing.
Yeah, I can tell.
Oh, my goodness. Of course, we knew the day was coming. Daddy was so sick. Love his heart, but can one ever really be prepared?
No, I guess not, but I mean, he was a Christian,
Yes.
so we have that to be thankful for.
Yes.
He was always so generous with the millions he made,
Yes.
giving to the church, the
Yeah.
community. This town is really gonna miss him.
Oh, yes, they should.
Oh, and by the way, Doug Graves said he'd stop by.
Oh, I
You remember my old band buddy Doug?
Yes, I remember Doug.
Yeah, him and Barry Burns joined up, and they opened the Graves and Burns Funeral Home and Crematory.
Oh, that means he'll be taking care of Daddy. Oh.
Yeah, he's Doug's gonna come by and discuss the obituary.
Obituary? Obituary? Did you say obituary, Charles? There are far more important matters at hand than the obituary. Like the will, Charles. The will. Who has it? Have you seen it? How much is in it? It must be millions by now. Daddy always did invest wisely.
Honestly, Mother, there'll be time for all that. Right now, we're waiting on Aunt Anna to get here.
Anna.
Oh, I think I see her and the kids pulling in the driveway now.
Oh, that's Anna, all right. And that brood of hers. Of course, she married a Democrat. A Democrat, for goodness sake. It's bad enough she married a Democrat, but she married a Kennedy. Well, that's what you get when you marry a Kennedy. You get a house full of Kennedys. I cannot deal with her right now, Charles. I cannot.
Honestly,
With
Mother.
the president, Daddy, I just cannot do it.
Those are your nieces and nephews.
Camilla, honey, you stay here. Mommy's gonna go rest. Oh.
Oh, hey, kids.
Oh, Charles.
Hello, Aunt Anna.
Oh, you're not the spitting image of Daddy. I miss him already, but I don't see your mother's car in the driveway.
Oh, yeah, Dad dropped her off. He's flying back to Washington. The Senate's in session. Besides, we were waiting for you to get here. You know, Granddad would want the two of you here together, making the important decisions, you know, together.
Speaking of important matters, who has that will? Have you seen it? How much is in it? It must be millions by now.
Honestly, I think I've heard that somewhere before.
Well, Granddad promised me a new car when I turned 16. I already know how I'm going to spend my inheritance, but I don't know if I want a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. I'm going to get online and look.
Grace, dear, do you mind taking the kids into the other room so the family can discuss important business?
Sure, I'll step out so the family can discuss their important business. Kids, would you like to practice those Christmas play cards?
Yippee! I can tell you all about the first Christmas. It was when Jesus was born.
I'm sure glad I have your Christmas plays, but my performances were quite spectacular.
Oh, you should see me on stage. Why do I have to be in that old Christmas play anyway?
Because I said so, that's why.
I want my performance to be spectacular. Will you help me learn my part? Sometimes I mess up.
I'd love to help you, Bobby.
No matter how many times I go over it with him, he just can't seem to get it right. Of course, I never mess up.
You do too.
Do not, do not.
Okay, that's enough. Kids, why don't you sing that song y'all been practicing? mansion across town for us. Daddy's wise investments will certainly come in handy.
Well, right now, I'm waiting on Doug Graves, the funeral director, to come by.
But we'll need to go down there and make those selections, won't we?
No, I think Granddad already took care of most of the important details. I think the most pressing concern right now is the obituary.
I couldn't help but overhear your conversation.
I'll bet.
Now, I am sure that Daddy wanted to be buried in a plain old pine box. Why, he was ever so humble. And you know, it's hard to be humble when you're the richest family in town. Why, Charles, your daddy says we're not far from that ourselves.
Oh, I bet that's Doug, the funeral director. He said he'd drop by. Come on in, Doug.
Hey, what's going on, guys? We really do need to nail down the coffin here, and I mean specifics. Sorry, no pun intended.
This looks fine, but I was wondering about the casket, you know. I understand Daddy picked one out himself. I just want to make sure it's equal to the legacy he's leaving behind.
Oh yeah, it's special like that. We ordered it special from England, and it costs a pretty penny too. It comes with platinum and gold trimmings.
Platinum? Did you say platinum?
Gold? I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I'll be leaving now. See you later, Charles.
See you, Doug.
Is it okay if I come back in with the grown-ups now?
Oh, sure, honey. Come on in. Sorry about leaving you out. You should be here for this.
You must.
Now, Mother, Aunt Anna, I know how anxious you two are about the reading of the will, so,
Well, yeah,
you know, maybe we should get to that.
I think so, Charles. We need to take a look at that, honey.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty anxious about it too. You know, with all that money you already spent on the casket.
Charles, honey, who are you looking for? We're all right here. Let's get that will out and look at it.
Yes, let's see what's in that will.
Well, I'm just, I'm looking for Granddad's attorney. He said he'd drop by. He has the will.
You were sending someone for that.
No, I don't think so. He must be
Charles,
mistaken.
this is far too important for you to get messed up.
Ah, there he is now. So, Aunt Anna, you and Mother just kind of sit still for a minute. Let's be civilized for once.
That don't
What,
look like
Charles?
no attorney to me.
That is no attorney.
For once, we agree on something.
It's a ghost!
Wow, I gotta get this on TikTok.
Well, Margaret and Anna didn't see that coming. I hope little Bobby recovers from the shock of seeing a ghost. Or was it really a ghost? It looks as if young Charles and his grandfather have a lot of explaining to do. Is grandfather going to finally reveal what's in his will? Will it live up to Margaret and Anna's lofty expectations? And poor Grace tasked with having to take care of the kids all this time. Has the practicing of their Christmas play parts had any influence on her belief? Let's find out what grandfather has to say.
What, Daddy? You put the fear of the Lord right in me.
You sure need it.
Well, let me tell you, it's good. It's good to get the whole family back together again. It's been 5 long years, really. You know, and to think that it would take my death, or really, you believing that I was dead, to get you here. You know, not to mourn my passing. I know that was probably the last thing on your mind. I know what you came for. You came for the reading of my will.
So there is in fact a will? So the whole purpose of you getting us all here together was just so you could give us our shares for Christmas, just so you could see the expression on our faces.
Well, not exactly. Not exactly.
Well, then, Daddy, I'm a little bit confused here. Are we going to get our inheritance now? Or are we going to have to, wait until later?
You mean like when I actually died? That's what. My goodness, I'll tell you what. You know, this is really, I've got my will right here, you know, and,
Well, Granddad, if I may,
you know, well, now, wait now, Charles, wait a second here. You know, this, yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead, Charles, I don't want to interrupt you, go ahead, I'll leave the will for later.
Mother, you and Aunt Anna aren't even speaking. You guys don't ever come by to help Granddad with anything. I've been here, taking care of everything that he needs. You know, and a phone call every now and then. It just don't cut it, does it?
You knew about this?
Well, yeah, but let's face it. You two only come today to hear the reading of his will. But you've been disappointed. Granddad has been a major part of the rebuilding effort after the flood we had in October here in town. Not to mention all the money he gives to other charities, worldwide organizations.
You know, Daddy, speaking of giving to these worldwide organizations, it's the Southern way to take care of your people at home instead of throwing your money all over.
Margaret, haven't you learned a thing at all? You know, people on the other side of the world, or people right here in our own little community, we're all the same. In God's eyes, God loves everybody. There's no difference in people. You know, we have to start loving each other, loving everybody. We just can't be exclusive and just love the ones we want to. That ain't the way to do things. Now, Charles is right. Charles is right. You girls, you've got everything you ever need and want. You're both married into wealthy families. We all know that. You've kind of let us all know that. What time you've been here, I've heard the stories about how you flaunted your wealth, your diamonds and your furs, and your hopes of buying the mansion, the Baldwin mansion, and you know, now what you all need more than anything else, money could never buy.
Maybe I should step out. This seems a little
No,
bit.
no, not Grace, now, you sit still for a second. What I've got to say, you need to hear. You know, Charles and I, we've really been concerned about you. You know, it appears as if that you are non-believer, that you don't even believe in Jesus, and Christmas might just be some made-up story somewhere along the way. And I think in some ways, you know, we're to blame for that in some way, this family. Now, we've all professed to be Christians, but, you know, our actions, particularly this one to my right and to my left here, you know, I know that's been a stumbling block for you. I know that's been hard because, you know, you probably think everybody at the church is just hypocrites, you know, but we're all just flawed individuals. But, you know, I know what time that you've been here, you had an opportunity to work with the children. I know that Christmas is coming, and I've heard how you worked with them and helping them play parts when they go back to their churches and deliver those messages through plays and whatever to their home churches. You know, oftentimes it's through the mouths of babes that truths are more readily received. Sometimes more so than it is through adults. And maybe I was hoping maybe you picked up a little bit on some of the things that they had said, what time you were here, or maybe it settled in your heart a little bit. But you know, here we are. It's been 5 years since we've been together. Now, the last time that we were all together, your mother was with us. It's 5 years ago. And if you remember, we read the Christmas story. When she was here, it was one thing she always loved. And what I'd like to do is, I'd just like to read that Christmas story once again. And what I want you to do, while I read it, I really want you to imagine in your mind what it was like on that night when Christ was born there in Bethlehem. Just keep that, let that kind of play out in your mind as I read this Christmas story once again. I know your mom would be very well pleased with me doing so. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria, and all went to be taxed, every one into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, unto Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone around about them. And they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you, ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. You know, it's never about what we do for Jesus. It's always about what He's done for us. Now, grace, I know it has to be difficult. You know, at times you must feel like that we're all just hypocrites. You know, but we're all flawed people. We're not perfect. You know, the church is just a place for sinners to go to get better. And we're always going to deal with the flaws that we've got. We're always going to have them. You can't let the actions of other people, you can't let them influence or keep you from having the relationship that Jesus wants to have with you. Now, we can find it a good excuse always to say, well, no, I don't, those people down there, they say one thing, they believe another, and you never know about it. But you can't let their actions influence you. I mean, that's just between you and Jesus, and that's wrong. Now listen, Margaret and Anna, listen, I don't know where to hardly start with you all. I know that you only came here today just to read this book. You know, but now I've got another wheel here today that's a little more important than this one here. You may be thinking, well, what's more important than what's in that document? I can tell you what's more important than two. What's more important is what's right in here. Now, my will for you all is that you'll come together again. That you'll learn to respect each other. You'll learn to overlook each other's flaws. You'll forgive each other. You'll start loving each other. That we can be a family again. You know, but now that's something that you have to want. Now, I know what my will is. I know what my will is here. I know what my will is in here. Is for you all to do that. But I don't know if that's your will or not. I don't know if you really want that or not. You know, if you really want that, more than anything else, you'll find a way to do it. You know, if that's your will, you'll find a way. Because where there's a will, there's a way. Well, if you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed it from this angle, just let them know what a great job that they did.